Imagine the wind whipping across a wooden deck, the taste of salt on your lips. The only sounds are the rhythmic creak of timber and the crashing of waves against the hull. This isn't a scene from a movie. It's the reality for scientists and adventurers today, and it's how we're unlocking the secrets of one of history's greatest maritime cultures. Welcome to G Fun Facts Online, where today we're setting sail on a Viking longship. For centuries, we've wondered how the Vikings, with what seemed like simple technology, managed to dominate the North Atlantic. How did they navigate from Scandinavia to Iceland, Greenland, and even North America, long before the magnetic compass? The answer lies in a fascinating field called experimental Archaeo-Navigation. Researchers aren't just reading ancient sagas, they are building and sailing meticulous replicas of Viking ships. These aren't just boats, they are floating laboratories. The journey begins in the shipyard, where modern shipwrights use copies of Viking age tools, like axes and adzes, to shape the timbers. They use the clinker technique, where overlapping planks are riveted together. This was a stroke of genius. It created a hull that was both incredibly strong and flexible, capable of withstanding the punishing waves of the open ocean. It also resulted in a lightweight vessel with a shallow draft, a crucial advantage that allowed the Vikings to sail up shallow rivers and beach their ships on shores without needing a deep harbor. One of the most famous reconstructions is the Sea Stallion of Glendalough, a 100-foot-long warship replica, based on a ship originally built in Ireland around the year 1042. But building the ship is only half the battle. How did they navigate across vast, featureless oceans? This is where the Vikings' genius truly shines. During the day, their primary guide was the sun. They used a tool we now call a sun compass. It was likely a simple wooden disc with a central pin. By observing the shadow cast by the pin on carved lines, a navigator could determine the cardinal directions with surprising accuracy. At night, they turned to the stars. The North Star Polaris served as a fixed point in the sky to determine their latitude and maintain a steady course. But the big question has always been, what happened on the famously overcast and foggy days of the North Atlantic? The Icelandic sagas speak of a mysterious sunstone. For a long time, this was dismissed as myth. But experimental physicists have demonstrated that certain crystals, like calcite, also known as Iceland spar, can polarize light. By holding this crystal to the sky and rotating it, a navigator could detect the pattern of polarized light and pinpoint the sun's exact location, even when it was completely hidden by clouds. It sounds like magic, but it's brilliant physics in action. Life aboard these replica voyages is a stark reminder of the hardships faced by ancient mariners. Crews endure wet and cold conditions with only woolen blankets for comfort, as the ships have no cabins or shelters. As one modern-day Viking archaeologist noted, a cooperative and resilient crew is just as crucial as a seaworthy vessel. While modern expeditions carry safety gear like satellite phones, the core experience remains true to the spirit of the Vikings. They faced the same challenges of unpredictable weather and powerful currents. One of the most famous modern voyages was that of the Drakon Harald Harfagri, the world's largest Viking ship replica. In 2016, it successfully crossed the Atlantic, following the ancient route from Norway to Iceland, Greenland, and finally North America. These voyages are actively rewriting our understanding of the Viking Age. They provide practical insights that archaeological finds alone cannot. They show us that the Vikings were not just raiders, but master seafarers, innovators, and explorers whose ingenuity allowed them to master the northern seas. As these modern-day adventurers follow in their wake, they are not just reliving history, they are rediscovering it. Thanks for listening to G Fun Facts Online. Stay curious, and we'll see you next time.